Hi, everyone. I'm Bonita here from rural Kansas. I'm early retired. I'm not old enough yet for Social Security. I'm living on a low monthly income, and I do frugal videos here on the channel to give you frugal inspiration and to give you ideas in your own home on where you can save money. Now, today we're going to talk about food preppers. We're going to talk about people that have large storages of food in their home, that they're very organized, and that they do this on purpose to have a huge pantry they can fall back on. Now, I recently showed you my food storage in one of my last videos. I have a lot more than I care to admit that I have, but I don't consider myself a prepper. I just consider myself prepared. Growing up in the country, we always tried to have one, two, or three extra of things that we used on a regular basis to keep us from having to run to the store. But I'm also very good at substituting and omitting things if I don't have them on hand, or just pivoting and making something different out of the ingredients that I already have. So, prepping tells you what your needs might be. And it also tells you how much you will need. And it has a lot of storage components to it. It is important to keep inventory and know what you have. And it's important to keep things rotated. But by knowing and reviewing and tracking what you have, you can save a lot of money and save a lot of stress in your kitchen and in your home by having these things in a prepper pantry. So today we're going to talk about prepping in general and what that looks like. Maybe you do some of the components of prepping like I do. I feel like I do some of the components, but I don't go after it hardcore because honestly, I just don't see the need with us just being two people in this household to go full blown prepper and have any more than I already have, or spend a whole day like on Sunday cooking and prepping things like a lot of preppers do. But let's take a look at what prepping looks like and see if some of these things that preppers do might benefit you. With inflation and rising prices, more people are concerned than they have ever been. This stretch of prices rising on food has gone on now, it seems like for years, and it doesn't seem to be looking any better. So, prepping some items or being on top of your inventory or being more organized or just knowing what you have and how to use that to your benefit can be huge in this inflationary time. So, one of the things that preppers do is they plan and they cook ahead in batches or in bulk to save time. This also reduces waste. It ensures that you have easy options that are readily available. So many bulk cook on certain days, like I mentioned in the intro, and some people divide things up where they have proteins, veggies, grains to mix and match during the week. Their proteins might be like bulk cooking chicken, like I did in one of the past videos, but I did it on purpose to have leftovers, not necessarily to prep. And some people will prep vegetables and have them ready to go so that they can throw them into stir fries and things like that. Now, I don't cook vegetables ahead of time so that I have them in the freezer, but I do have a lot of frozen items that are chopped ready to go. And then grains, like making rice ahead of time and cooking it so that you can quickly throw it into a dish or add a little water and throw it into the microwave. Many people do that so that they can use some bulk fillers as they're cooking for the week. The second thing that preppers do is they really try to avoid waste and extend the life of their items. Now, I fall in that category 100%. So when they shop and they prep, they will come home from the store and immediately process like their meats to divide them up and put them into packages. They will immediately wash their vegetables, chop their vegetables, and prepare them either for the week in their fridge or put them into containers that they can freeze them in. Now, if you look in my freezer right now, I have frozen fresh thyme, I have frozen basil, I have frozen onions that are chopped up, I have frozen peppers in all colors that are chopped up, and I have frozen celery that is diced up and ready to go. And I have Swiss chard in my refrigerator right now with a paper towel in the bag because I have found when I pick my Swiss chard, if I have extra that's fresh, this will keep it from wilting, it will keep it from absorbing moisture, and it will extend the life of my Swiss chard. I've had it last in the refrigerator for weeks by just putting it in a baggie with a paper towel. So I absolutely fall into this category of trying to avoid waste and extend the life of my foods. The third thing that preppers do if they bulk cook or they cook ahead of time is they portion into airtight containers that are marked and dated to go in their freezer. Now, some people prefer to do it by the item, like bulk cooking chicken, labeling it and freezing it. Other people prefer to do it by the meal. So there's no right or wrong way. It has to do with what works best for your household. And if you are a single person, maybe doing it by the meal is helpful. Or maybe if there's just one or two of you, or one of you works during the day and the other one is home during the day, doing it by the meal might make sense for you. Now, if I have leftovers that I freeze, I tend to do it by the item. I recently made extra rice and I froze the rice in containers that say rice, that are like 2 cups each. And that will work best for us because then I can just quickly pull it out and I can throw it into whatever I am cooking and it will warm right back up. It's already cooked. All it has to do is warm up and separate from being frozen. The fourth thing that preppers do is they will plan meals or plan menus based on what they have prepped. Now, I am more one of those people where I have some general ideas in my head of what I can use the items for or what different recipes I can make from the items, but I don't make weekly menus. I like to be more spontaneous than that. I don't like to be stuck to a certain menu that I've already planned. I like to be able to think about what I'm hungry for, what sounds good. And as the cook, I feel like I have that prerogative. And so I will think about what I have, think about the different things I can make from that and what sounds good today. And I will use the items I have prepped to then throw together to make a meal or 2 or 3 for the week. So based on prepped items or prepper items stored, a prepper will use those items then to plan and prepare their menus or their foods they're going to make for the next week. So the advantages of prepping can be things like reduced grocery shopping. If you already have a lot of items, you know what you have, they're already prepped, they're already in containers and labeled, you are less likely to buy something at full price or to make those extra trips to the grocery store because you're not sure what you have or you don't have anything ready to go. The second advantage is it reduces waste because you're on top of what you have. You're on top of keeping it stored properly. You're on top of rotating it, and you're less likely to have those things in the fridge that are going to slip by and go bad, or those things in the freezer that are going to slip by and be in there too long. The third advantage is you are more organized, as I have just described. You know what you have, you know where it is, you know if it's ready to go, you know how it's prepared, you know how much you have, and it just helps in every aspect of running your kitchen smoothly and efficiently. The next advantage is it takes less time to prepare and plan meals. You already have things at the ready, so you can throw things together or pull out that meal that you already have ready to go. The next advantage is you are eating out less. When you have things at the ready, you are less likely not only to make those store runs, but also to run through a drive-through or order a pizza or whatever because you don't think you have anything to eat that can be made quickly. So it actually saves you money in the long run on your eating out. The next advantage is it protects you against those inflation prices. Rising prices are something that we sometimes feel like we don't have any control over. But if we know what we have, items are prepped, we have a good back stock, we have some things at the ready, again, you are less likely to have to go in and buy things at those higher prices. Sometimes you can ride it out until the next sale, or you can ride it out until prices start coming down, if that's even a thing. But it can actually save you money and give you a layer of protection against rising prices. The next advantage is it protects you against those store shortages. A lot of times when there's rising prices, people are running out and buying things. They're scared it's going to go up, and there can be shortages. They are already seeing those in some of the other countries. They are seeing a lot of shortages and bare shelves, and I haven't seen that here. But if it were to happen and you were a prepper, you wouldn't have to worry as much because you know you are well stocked and you know that you can ride it out until the next truck or until things start getting put back on the shelves. The next advantage is it saves time, it saves money, it reduces stress if you are organized. You don't have to come home and say, "What are we having for supper? What do we even have to eat?" You know what you have. You know what you have to eat. You know how long it's going to take you to either warm it up, thaw it out. Maybe you've already pulled something out that morning that's already cooked and ready to go, and you can just throw that together when you get home. It reduces a lot of food stress in being the main meal preparer in your family. So it reduces your stress by your efficiency of having food items prepared and ready to go because you are organized and you have planned ahead and you have stocked ahead and you have cooked ahead and you have labeled everything. That sounds like a lot to do in the beginning, but it saves you so much time in the end that you will find that a lot of those little things really are time savers. They seem like they would take more time initially, but once you get that flow going, they actually save you a lot of time. So another advantage that a lot of people like, especially if they're trying to lose weight or be on a certain diet, is it helps them with portion control. It helps them with nutrition. By planning the meal ahead of time, it is prepped to their nutrition needs, and they know they can just pull that out, and they're less likely to grab something that maybe they shouldn't eat. Maybe it's not on their diet. Maybe it is a larger portion that it should be, because everything is already in that portion controlled container, and all they have to do is pull that out. So I hope this has helped give you some insight on whether or not you want to incorporate some of these prepping tasks into your household. They can provide a lot of advantages. They can provide a lot of stability in your budget and also in your food supply, and they can protect you from these rising prices by being more organized and being on top of what your stash is. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know if you are like me and you have some of these prepping tendencies, but maybe you do not have all of them. And let me know if there's some of these prepping tasks that you want to add to what you are already doing. And let me know if you are a prepper and how it benefits you and if I've left anything out. Thank you for joining me today. I always appreciate the time you spend with me. I hope you will give me a thumbs up and I hope you will join me for another video.